The Mercy Watson books are the first books that I illustrated that I did not write. And, but I was so lucky to be paired with Kate DiCamillo because she's just such a great writer and her words are just fabulous. And when I remember when they first asked me if I'd like to illustrate these stories, they sent me the story and I laughed out loud. I mean, because she writes the exact kind of stories that I love to illustrate, these sort of silly, wacky adventures. You are illustrating somebody else's words, so you have to go by the story, and you can't go off on a tangent. But Kate was great. She gave me very minimal character descriptions. So, for example, there are two elderly sisters that live next to the Watsons, named the Lincoln sisters. And the only description I got from those characters from Kate was that they're really old and they're really thin. And so that's how I went. And so she really gave me free rein to sort of design these characters as I see fit. And I don't think she really changed too much. We didn't really talk too much through the process. It was handled through the publisher. So I would submit my sketches to the publisher, and the publisher would send them on to Kate for approval. I do remember I made a mistake at the very beginning because when I first sketched out Mercy Watson, I envisioned Mercy Watson as a little piglet. And I drew this little piglet, tiny little thing, with these giant ears and a great big bow tied around its neck. And they sent the sketches off to Kate, and she said, remember the comment that came back said, "Well, these are really cute, but actually Mercy Watson's a big fat pig." And so I went back and I drew this big fat pig, which was actually a lot more fun to draw than this cute little piglet. So she did have interaction throughout the process, but I didn't actually meet Kate until the first book was printed. And we met in New York for, it was either Book Expo or ABA or one of those. And we met, and I was a little nervous because even though the book was out, I had never met her in person, and I went up to her and I said, "Hi, I'm Chris. I did your illustrations." She gave me a big hug. She said, "Oh, I love the illustration." And we had great times during the signings, and the whole process of the whole 6 books were just a blast.